Hi everyone, so here is our video on division. This is short division because we're multiplying, we are dividing just by a single digit number. I will show you long division in these videos as well, where we would be multiplying by a 2-digit number. But for these types of questions, again, arithmetic's laid out like this. We need to lay it out like this. We like to nickname this one the bus stop because it's like people waiting inside the bus stop. So I am going to show you a little bit of a visual way if learners are struggling as well. But essentially, it may be easier for your learners to write down the times table that they'd need down the side of their calculation. So here we could write out our 4 times table. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. They will never need more than 9 lots of the times table. However, I do think it's worth adding that extra 10 because, for example, it could be 39 and then they get a little bit confused. Also, what's useful is perhaps writing down how many groups each of these are. So I tend to do this down the side, perhaps put it in little circles, just to make life a little bit easier as they are finding the division. So first job, we're going to do how many groups of 4 are in the number 4. So in this case, we've just got one group. So that one group is going to sit above like this. The next bit is how many groups of 4 are in the number 9. In this case, I need to look for the number 9 down this side. Now, if 9's not there, I need to go one lower instead of higher. So if it's 9, it would be here, and therefore I need to go down to the lower number of groups. So here, there are just 2 groups of 4 in the number 9. Now, what you can do is, I know that made 8, and I draw a little arrow like this just to count on to find that remainder. So between the numbers 8 and 9, there's just a remainder of 1, and that 1 needs to come across to meet his new friend over here, which now makes 16. So we're going to ask ourselves our last question. How many groups of 4 are in the number 16? I'd look down my list, find 16, and it is an exact answer. I know there are 4 groups. I could put 16 here if I wanted to, but I realise I don't need to count on. So that is pretty much it. On this one over here, again, if I really wanted to, I could write down my 5 times table up to 50. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. If the students are good with the times tables, they definitely don't need to do this job. They can just count on their fingers to find out the amount of groups. For struggling learners, it might be worth just encouraging this little bit of a trick sheet or help sheet so that they don't get lost when completing these divisions. So there we go, there's my 10 lots, and I'm going to do exactly the same again. Now this time, how many groups of 5 are there in the number 3? Now this can really confuse children because there are no groups. Now if we really wanted to, we could draw the number 3 underneath 1, 2, 3 to show that we can't actually find that group of 5. So I'm going to move that 3 across to the 6. So now I've got how many groups of 5 are in the number 36. So I'm going to look down my list. Remember, I can't go higher, so I'm going to jump and stop at that 1. So there are 7 groups in 36. I can bob 35 underneath just to remind me to count on. So between 35 and 36, there's 1 left over. And then I'm going to go back to how many groups of 5 are in 17. So I'm going to look down my list, remembering not to go over. So I've just got 3, which made 15. And then I need to count on from 15 to 17, 15, 16, 17. And this is where I would have a remainder of 2. Now, in another video, I'm going to show you how to extend that decimal. But for now, If they do put a remainder of 2 like this on their arithmetic test, they are not going to get it wrong. So not to worry about extending with a decimal if they are confident with this.